Hello Leo, welcome back to my channel. This is Skeleton Key Tarot and this is a tarot card reading for Leo. All Leo placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Wherever you've got Leo in your chart or in your life, there's something in this message for you. And as always, cross watchers are welcome here too. So let's begin. Messages for Leo, please. What does Leo need to know? All right. First of all, we've got a message about somebody who keeps a lot to themselves. They're dealing with it by themselves. They prefer to deal with their emotions, their feelings, their ideas, whatever it is. They keep it to themselves. They're very quietly working on this. This is somebody who spends a lot of time alone, who really enjoys being alone, but is also troubled by something in their mind, something that they're thinking a lot about. Knight of Cups here. I mean, okay. So the Knight of Cups talks to us about expressing our feelings, our desires. He talks about emotional and physical intimacy with other people, feeling that kind of romantic connection. He's a dreamer. He's an artist. He loves art and music. He's very sensitive, okay, can be very passionate too. We've got, with the Five of Wands here, this is Leo energy. This is Saturn and Leo, but there's a restriction. There's a restriction to self-expression. There's, again, coming back to this idea that somebody keeps a lot to themselves. They think about it a lot. They put a lot of thought into what they're doing. They analyze and maybe overanalyze themselves. There's a sense of blaming themselves or not feeling good enough. There's the Five of Cups underneath the Nine of Wands. This is something that is still weighing heavily on their mind. They are dealing with it alone by themselves. This could be you or somebody that you know who keeps a lot of their emotions and their thoughts and feelings to themselves. They feel really bad. They have a lot of negative emotions. They struggle with negative thinking patterns. It's more than just a mood. It's their personality, okay? There's more Leo energy here with Mars and Leo. Interesting. They're right. Okay. This situation is ending. I think that this person wants to break their silence. I think that this person has been keeping their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions, their ideas, a lot of it to themselves, choosing to spend time alone in introspection, soul searching. It's much more comfortable for them to be isolated and alone. They like being alone. They like to spend time by themselves. This is somebody who internalizes a lot. And so I think it would take a lot to get this person to come out of their shell or to come out of their hermit mode. They're not going to do it for just no reason. They're not going to come out and do something just anybody or for any old reason. But what I'm seeing in this reading right now, yeah, there's the Page of Wands and the Six of Wands. The Fool. Page of Wands, Six of Wands, the Fool. This is somebody who wants to do something new, who wants to take a chance, who feels rejuvenated somehow. They feel excited about doing something. They feel, this is, again, more Leo energy. We got Jupiter and Leo here. So it's like I just heard, I feel like a kid again. This makes them feel young, or they feel inspired by something here with the Seven of Wands. You know what's interesting? There's the Page of Cups. I was meditating on the Seven of Wands before I did your reading. Before I started doing any readings today, I was reading about the Seven of Wands, thinking a lot about it, meditating on it, you know. And I tend to see this card as these six wands are actually like attacking this figure. But I thought about it, and if you think about it from a different perspective, you can see that it looks like the Eight of Wands are actually coming from this figure. Like this figure is sending out their energy. They're using their wand as like a weapon, and they are like striking. So this is the energy of their strike, and it's a direct hit. They make a move, they take action, they take a stand, and it's flawless. Like there's this flawlessness to the victory. And with the Six of Wands here as well, like this is victory and success. So there's this successful undertaking, taking a risk, maybe expressing how they feel, being sensitive, being affectionate, because the Page of Cups is here. The Page of Cups is all about sensitivity. And, okay, Knight of Cups is expressing your feelings, overcoming some kind of restrictions or limitations. A stuck or stagnant energy is now moving again. It gets moving. Nine of Wands, Temperance. All right, I'm digging too far. I've been told to stop. That's it. All right. Page of Cups is right there. What's under the Hanged Man? The Death card. Right. So this situation is changing. There's a major transformation going on in your life, and you're seeing things completely differently. You're seeing the past in a totally different way as well. It's like, it's over. There was a before time, and then there's an after. Before this happened and after this happened, and it just looks like you're letting it go, letting go of the past. With the Death card being here, this is a very transformative energy. And it's no longer hanging on to what's already over. It's no longer hanging on to the same old way of doing things and thinking about things. I do feel like there's been a catalyst for change. So what's going on here? Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Fool. It's like there's a new romantic connection. There's a new emotional inspiration or connection. Like you're sensitive to this. There is even like a psychic ability as well is indicated. Psychic sensitivity, you know, emotional sensitivity, receptiveness, vulnerability. Maybe this is like somebody who does not like to feel vulnerable, or who's been self-sufficient or has been alone for a long time. They feel very isolated. All right, this was in the beginning here with the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups and the Hermit. This is somebody who feels very isolated, alone, sad, depressed, disappointed in life. Things did not turn out the way that they wanted it to. Maybe they're older, right? With the Hermit card, it represents an older person. And, you know, maybe they've got some regrets and they blame themselves and they feel bad. They feel unlovable. They feel like they're beating themselves up about this too. Kind of beating a dead horse a little bit, but there's some cruelty here. There's some insecurity. There's like a lot of negative expectations, negative emotions, feeling so anxious as well. Very like anxious and alone and isolated and depressed, and preferring to keep a lot of this to themselves and just working on their own emotions. They're working on it themselves. Prefer to deal with these emotions by themselves, keep it to themselves, keep it very quiet, bottle it up inside, compartmentalizing a lot, but also really thinking a lot about it too, like hyper fixated on this at the same time. So there's a almost like reliving the trauma, like something happened and being so focused on it and so judgmental or critical or beating yourself up about it and refusing to let it go is like re-inflicting the wound on yourself. And it's not even, it's the past. There's a heavy influence of the past in this reading, thinking heavily about the past, missed opportunities, failures, perceived failures, criticism from other people that stuck in your head that you feel like represents the truth about you. And maybe in some ways there was a grain of truth with it, but I mean, is it really helpful? Does it help? It feels like there's a little masochism here. There may even be a pleasure in causing this pain. I don't know whose side that's on. Didn't we go through this in the Dark Lament reading that I did for you, Leo? This all came up already. There may be something in that reading for you if you didn't watch it or you didn't watch the whole thing. I know it was kind of long. It seems like this is the same energy that we got before. This is like the exact same reading. Isn't that funny how the same cards will just keep coming out? It's like tarot is real. So you know, there's some advice here about letting go of the past, to get unstuck, to stop negatively reinforcing these negative ideas of yourself. Yeah, like quit reinforcing the negative self-image, I guess. Maybe easier said than done. There's an inner conflict here, or maybe it's actual conflict with other people as well. There's a lot of opinionated, righteous energy here. There is a defensiveness, there's a wound, there's a psychic wound. It needs attention, it needs healing. It needs to be addressed and solved. You got to admit you've got the problem and then look at it and take care of it or whatever, right? Fine. But there also seems to be this new emotional or spiritual connection with the Page of Cups, the Fool, the Knight of Cups, Page of Wands, and it's the Six of Wands and the Seven. It's like, this is getting somebody to come out of their hermit mode. This is making somebody feel alive again. This is making somebody feel good. This, like, they want to do this new thing. They're looking forward to the new chapter. They're now letting go of a stuck or stagnant situation that has got to be surrendered, and they're going with it. They're going with the flow of life's changes, entering into a whole new chapter of their life. And it's like, you don't want to take this with you. You don't want this old past version of yourself to end up dominating the future, or the, you know, like, you can't change the past. You can change how you look at it, how you think about the past. You can change yourself now. You can start where you are and do your best. And it looks like somebody's doing a great job. They're really pulling something off. With the Seven of Wands here, I just get that, like, you pull it off. This is a flawless victory to me. This is valor and courage. Somebody's being very brave about this, putting on a brave face. I get that somebody's very sensitive, very spiritual, very tactile, okay? Emotional, spiritual, sensitivity, receptionist, like receptivity. Okay. Could have water in their chart. I've got Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. A lot of Leo here. Virgo. You could have Virgo in your chart. Gemini is also here. Anything else? I almost just want to tell you to watch that other reading, because it's the same exact energy of, there is a stuck resistance. There's a lot of friction, resistance, a lot of restrictions, a very restrictive energy. It's like somebody has been stuck in this, and it's not been good. Like, you're stuck in this negative thinking, feeling like you failed, or something did not live up to your expectations, and it was so disappointing, and now you kind of have to move on. You really don't have any other choice but to move on, but that's easier said than done. There's a lot that you keep to yourself, like you have secrets, or you have something that is just like so caustic, so corrosive to your sense of well-being in your mind and in your heart. There's just something that's exhaustively corrosive, like salt water in a wound, you know, salt in a wound. Like, somebody just, it's like, I get the sense that I'm connecting to somebody who has a psychic wound, that somebody poured salt in it, or you do this to yourself, or somebody's salty. Somebody is just salty. Okay. But anyway, it just looks like, you know what this looks like? It just looks like somebody who has been single, isolated, alone, feeling, and you know, they're kind of traumatized. You know, it just, and they feel very isolated, and they're dealing with it, and they prefer to keep a lot to themselves. They internalize a lot. And they're very, very sensitive, maybe extremely sensitive to negativity or criticism. But they also feel like they don't want to be in this forever. They don't want to be stuck in this phase that they've been in. They don't like it. They feel uncomfortable. It's not big enough. It's not good enough. It's not fun. And they want to have fun, and they want to have connection, and they want to explore new possibilities and to be romantically involved, and they want to have more to their life. And so it looks like they're taking a stand for what they believe in and who they are, and there's no room for compromise without sacrificing some part of themselves that they feel is essential to their soul, basically. Like, so they're letting go of a situation, maybe an external situation with the Death and the Five of Wands. I don't know. There's some higher power at play as well, some ultimate authority. It's in like I get that this person is aware of their own mortality. It's like they know it's inevitable, that just this just can't be their life. This just cannot be the future. You don't want the past to bleed into the future. You don't want to repeat the same thing over again. You've been beating yourself up over it. Whether you deserve it or not, maybe that's up to you, but it looks like this part of your life, this whole chapter it's over. And one of these days you're going to look back on the past and you're going to see it in a different way. You're going to have a different perspective with the Hanged Man and the Death. It's like, this is over, and you're going to see it in a different way in the future. When you let go, release the past, release the tension in your body, release everything, just like let it go. You're going to end up feeling a lot better. You'll have more spiritual enlightenment and connection with source energy, with others around you. You're going to have a lot more, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more lighthearted and positive. Inviting the positive into your life. Knight of Wands. Yeah, they're Four of Wands. It's like you're taking action towards this new beginning that's really celebratory. There's something great here about a new home. Like you're moving to a new place, or you're taking some situation, you're reaching a milestone in the situation. You're taking action towards it. Knight of Wands is taking action. Seven of Wands. Like I do get the, yeah, there's movement here. With the Fool, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, Six. It just looks like you're moving to a new place, or you're reaching a new milestone in your personal development. Something's got to come to completion, and I see that Death card, Fool card, Four of Wands. Like there is a completion here. You're completing out this cycle. You're closing out this karmic cycle, and you're entering into a better phase of your life where you're just gonna feel overall more comfortable and happier. There's a sense of liberation here. There's a sense of letting go and being free of this judgment. This has been a wake-up call for you. There's been some kind of spiritual awakening that you're going through. This is beautiful. You're going to get a higher perspective. You're being asked to see the bigger picture here, to see the long view, or you're maybe a little bit too close to the situation to really see it from a higher perspective that you're going to have in the future in 20 years from now. This situation is not going to look the same, and you're being asked to like drop your worm's eye view, get a bird's eye view of this, like you're seeing the forest for the trees or something. Like getting, I'm seeing an image of a bird flying over the forest, so they see the whole forest, not just the one tree in front of them, you know. Accepting valid criticism, yes, but also seeing the situation for what it really is, getting through to the truth of the situation. There's also something important about the mysteries here. Acknowledging the mystery and saying, you know what, I don't know. And that's valid, like understanding when you don't know everything, or you don't know the future, you don't know. And when you recognize that you don't know and you admit that you don't know about something, that's when the enlightenment can really begin, right? Like that is getting closer to the source, getting closer to the truth. Sometimes you have to admit that you don't know, or that you were wrong, or whatever. Like you have to drop the old perspective. So you're going to see things from a higher perspective. You're getting in this wake-up call. It's an awakening. You're being called. You have a higher calling or something. There's no going back. But there's your Nine of Cups. It makes you really happy. This is personal satisfaction. This is your experience of being happy and satisfied in your life with your decisions. You're happy with yourself. This is wish fulfillment twice now. This is the 1111. This is the Make-A-Wish card. And this is your wish fulfillment. So you get what you want, and here's your turning point here with the Wheel of Fortune. So you're at this turning point, and there's no going back. you're at a crossroads, or you're at like a inflection point where you've reached a milestone. This is completing the cycle. This has been a full turn for you, and now you're entering into a new phase of your life where you're turning a corner in your life, for whatever that means. It looks like it's happy for you. I'm happy for you because it looks like you're happy with the outcome. Like you're getting what you want, you're figuring it out, you're figuring out what you want, and you're going for it. You're setting yourself up for a very happy new chapter of your life. And it's also, I saw the Queen of Cups real quick, and she always mentions talking about like emotional integrity, being honest about how you feel, being authentic in your feelings, expressing your emotions openly and honestly. Like there could be part of that for some reason. There may be a need to externalize a little bit more of what's been going on inside of you. Somebody feels like they're not good enough, or they have these insecurities or these doubts and fears. They're sorry about the future. There's remorse. There's regret. They beat themselves up a lot. They're really hard on themselves. You know, they're analyzing and reliving the trauma or the experience that they had, or whatever they did, or whatever was done to them. And I just see that this is really inspirational, actually. This is you getting yourself out of it by your own labor, your own work. You do this for yourself. You do this yourself, for yourself, by yourself. You figure it out, and you get yourself to a better place, internally and externally. Let's get some tea leaf cards for you. I feel like that's the whole reading, and now it's time for tea leaf cards. I'm going to put these over here. Somebody wants to do better. They have this fantasy, this dream about what they really want to do, and they're just going to go for it. They're figuring out how to go for it. That's what this looks like to me. It's kind of scary, but it looks like they're going to do it anyway. Okay, let's go for tea leaf cards. Get a couple of tea leaves. To confirm and clarify this reading for Leo, please, we've got spiritual love. Yes, spiritual love. That's that emotional, spiritual intimacy and connection that we were thinking of. I love that, spiritual love, especially with that Judgment card and the Knight of Cups together. This, like, it's a higher calling. It's a higher kind of, it's different from other types of love, you know? There's something transcendent or ascending or uplifting about it. It just makes you feel really good. And that Nine of Cups and that Four of Wands, it's like that milestone in your own spiritual, emotional development. We've got the hills, obstacles to overcome. Yeah, there are definitely some obstacles to overcome. We do see that here. There's a lot of fear and worry about these obstacles too, but it looks like somebody's going to go for it and they're going to be successful. It's the force of their character or something like that. Yeah. How many times am I going to say energy? But it's like the energy coming off of this person, the Nine of Wands. Do you see that, what I mean? It's like, usually it looks the other way, but now it looks like it's coming from him. It's like you can see him swinging his wand and like direct hit. Hitting on somebody with the Page of Cups. This is like somebody's hitting on you. You're hitting on them, or they're hitting on you, like flirting with you. And it's a direct hit. They're very direct in the way that they hit on you. This is funny. It's like somebody's coming out of their shell. And they're so big and bright when they do. This is a funny character. You can be so confident and yet so insecure at the same time, evidently. Okay, let's get a couple more tea leaf. Maybe somebody's overcoming their insecurities and they're able to finally, like, I don't know, do something. Unsettled times, a need to plan ahead. Yeah, with that those are some of the obstacles. There's something is unsettling about this, that's for sure. There's definitely something chaotic in the energy here. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Uncompromising, yes. Let's see, two more. Thank you. These are two. We've got protected from negative forces beyond your control. Muddled, unclear thinking. So this is to confirm and clarify to you that yes, we've got the Nine of Swords here. We've got the Five of Cups, Five of Wands. You know, this is definitely some unclear thinking. Maybe you are stubborn and unwilling to change, or somebody that you're dealing with is very stubborn and unwilling to change, and this is somehow affecting your thoughts. But look, changes in your life are happening anyway at the bottom of the deck. And then we've got, oh, we have danger, especially in money matters. And we've got a sincere wish will be granted. That was that Nine of Cups. So yeah, your wish is coming true. There are changes happening in your life. You are protected from negative forces beyond your control, especially in money matters. And a sincere wish will be granted. Wonderful. I love that for you, Leo. So we'll be careful with that money. But you've got great good fortune with the 4-leaf clover. You're really lucky. Despite whatever challenges you're having, you're going to get what you want. A sincere wish will be granted. So if it's something that you really want. That 1111 card was here, right? We had the 4 of Wands. This is your wish come true. This is like, sometimes the 4 of Wands says to us, make a wish and blow out the candles. This is like candles on a birthday cake. And then we had the 9 of Cups. And that's your wish fulfillment. So this is making a wish. And then there's the fulfillment of the wish also came out in this reading. So I feel like that confirms and clarifies for us. Let's get a, yeah, somebody keeps their feelings to themselves for some reason here. I mean, that's just how you are. That's how this person is. No, hold on. There may be some kind of inheritance involved as well. I just saw the speculation card, which is Cancer and Jupiter, family money. But let's see. Let's get one card. One card for Leo. Thank you. We've got independence, the moon in Aquarius, and we've got the moon in Aries, protection as well. So you are protected. Independence. I like that for this reading. Somebody is going their own way and asserting their own independence. Somebody is very independent. And we've got the moon in Aquarius, which is like emotional distance as well. So this is, again, somebody who keeps a lot of their feelings to themselves, or they just internalize a lot of it. But their sensitivity, they analyze a lot of it. They're very analytical, okay, of their feelings, rationalizing their emotions. So let's see, the moon in Aquarius. We've got, often when this card occurs in a reading, it shows that the person asking the question is trapped in a mental whirlwind. It indicates a need to let go of emotions and to allow feelings to express themselves without rationalizing them. That is this whole reading. This is expressing your feelings and like letting go and feeling trapped in the mental whirlwind, letting it go, allowing your feelings to express themselves without rationalizing them. It also suggests that the questioner's home will be used in the future for group meetings and some kind of good cause or humanitarian subject. So you might be getting together with people at your house for a meeting. The events indicated here are some kind of unconventional assistance, original ideas brought to bear on a situation or a subject, a second opinion is canvassed, or there's an interest in astrology. Cool. I really like that. I like how that fits in here. The originality, going your own way, expressing your emotions without rationalizing them. Okay, let's do, I've got also this one, the moon in Aries. So let's do moon in Aries before we close out the reading. It says, in a reading, this card might suggest that the questioner watch that sympathy with other. I can read, I promise. This card might suggest that the questioner watch that sympathy with another's predicament does not leave him or her vulnerable to manipulation. So just because you sympathize with somebody doesn't mean you should let them manipulate you. One could find oneself having to protect one's position. The card may indicate a link with a questioner's talent for buying property or running a business from home. The events indicated here are defensive action, maternal instinct, business enterprise, arguments over property, reluctantly moving, family upsets, or family responsibilities. Could be factors in all of this, for sure. So that's what I've got for you today, Leo. I think that confirms and clarifies for us. that yes, this is what's going on here. Anything else for Leo today? It looks like somebody's going to take a risk to actually like open up about how they feel, what they want, where they want to live, what they want to do. There are difficulties in this. It's challenging. There's possibly like family influences and the need to be independent and do things your own way. But there's a lot of good fortune here as well. Business dealings paying off, you know, some kind of victory and success in, I think, overcoming fears, overcoming limitations and restrictions. What do you want to read for this? Okay, I do. The Page of Wands. Who is the Page of Wands here? This is somebody who's excited and optimistic. This is a new beginning. It's being optimistic about it. Your increase in perception, your perceptive abilities. This says, the indication says, your old fears have lost their power over you. Their dead remains cannot frighten you anymore. Reflect now on your greatest strengths. So yeah, that's dead to you. The past is dead to you. It can't frighten you anymore. It can't make you feel like this anymore. They can't trigger you like this anymore. It just can't. I accept my fear. It says, as I accept my fear, it is transformed into love. What's the next step in your life? Find it fearlessly. So it's like fearlessly finding the next step in your life, this new chapter opening up for you, and you're fearlessly going towards it, taking this leap of faith, letting go of the past, no longer holding you back from being who you are, expressing yourself openly, expressing your emotions, your desires, your spiritual love, your spirituality, your increase in spiritual awareness. Like, this is like a spiritual awakening, and you're not gonna let people make you feel like you're weird, or like, okay, so maybe you are weird. You're creepy, you're weird, you're strange, you're different, you're eccentric, whatever people might say about you. They might have a negative opinion of you and what you're doing with your spirituality or your occult teachings, or, you know what I mean? Like, people might not get it. They're going to think you're weird, or they're going to think you're strange, or you've lost your mind, or you're crazy, you're acting different. Like, what has changed in you? You've changed. People have noticed you've changed. They don't understand it. They might try to demonize you for it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. But you're doing it anyway. You're not letting that hold you back. You are learning about the ways of transforming your fear and your bad negative feelings, your negative expectations. You're getting involved in, for example, in dance or trance work or ecstatic forms of meditation. Cool. Maybe you're meditating. You're doing some yoga. It's like you're getting in touch with this part of yourself that has access to psychic or spiritual wisdom or knowledge or teachings, and you're really going for it, you know, fearlessly, regardless of what other people say. There's a real optimism here. I think this is somebody who's been through a lot in their life, but they're at a turning point. This is good. This is a good direction. They're really lucky. They have a lot of good things going for them. They're very protected. There's optimism. The moon in Sagittarius, that's my moon sign. There's optimism. You see? It's right there. The moon in Sagittarius, optimism. There may be travel involved, but there's a lot of moon energy here. You notice that? 3 moons. The moon right here, too. So there's changes in your life. The moon could be important to you. The phases of the moon. You're in a different phase of your life. There's the skull. There's the waxing, the waning crescent. So you're doing some kind of moon magic or moon ritual. The skull represents ritual and the tools that we use during our rituals. And then I was asking because in my Enigma deck, there are moon phases. So I asked for a moon phase, and it looks like you're doing rituals based on the phases of the moon. And I got the waning crescent. Don't you just love this game? It's true. And there's the full moon at the bottom of the deck. So something between the waning crescent and the next full moon could be really important to you. These rituals that you're doing, this moon magic that you're doing. The devil, somebody does not understand. Somebody doesn't get it. They think that it's weird. They're projecting their own fears onto this. This is the idea of evil, or the projection of evil, or demonizing you. The devil hears, this is like some fears unresolved, or somebody else, like somebody thinks that this is weird. I guess they see the skull and they're like, what are you doing with that skull? That is weird. That's creepy. Like, why are you so obsessed with skulls? You know, like with the skull being here and the devil underneath of it. Like, okay, I want to read from this before I go, because this reading's already gone on long enough. 34 minutes, 35 minutes almost. So come on. 53, the waning crescent. We've got banishing, expulsion, endings, and cutting ties. You may want to do a cord cutting ceremony. You get 2 candles, tie them together with a string, okay? You light the candles, say a few words, cut the string, say a few more words, let the candles burn down on their own. There's your cord cutting ritual. 1 candle represents you, 1 candle represents whatever it is that you're trying to expel, banish, or end, cut ties with in your life. You're literally cutting ties. And then the full moon represents the ultimate power, the amplification of your power, the manifestation, completion, dreams, and transformation. So it is the completion of this cord cutting ritual, this magic here, the skull, mortality, relic of power, memorial, tool, ritual, inability to let go. So it's coming back to the Hanged Man again, having a hard time letting go, afraid of letting go. Mortality, the awareness of life and death. We were talking about that. We touched on that a little bit earlier with the death card. There's a skull in the death card. Yeah, just having all these memories. Memorial, though, there's like you can create or construct a memorial, I guess, like a tombstone for this, like a tombstone for your past. What do you want to write on your tombstone? You know, what would be, if you put your past, if you allowed your past to die, if you buried it, if you buried your past as like a ritual, right, to end it, what would be on the tombstone? I'm sorry, what would you write on your past's tombstone? Does that make sense? Here lies my past, good riddance, or whatever. Thank you for everything, I forgive you, or whatever the hell, you know, what would you write on your past's tombstone? Not your tombstone, but like the part of your life that is already over. What would be written on the tombstone of your past? Does that make sense? I think I'm articulating myself. You probably get what I'm trying to say. I've got 3 moons here, and I got 3 moons here. 6 moons. 6 moons from now, 6 months from now, could be really important. Sometime between the next waning crescent and the next full moon. So it would be waning crescent, it would be the new moon, and then all the way back to the full moon. And by then, between then and the next 6 months, it's like, some of this will come to pass, whatever this is. Perhaps the new beginning, you get the new direction, you feel the calling, you get the spiritual awakening, you have the ritual, you do the cord cutting ritual sometime in the next 6 months, and I don't know. Then what happens? I guess we can find out in a personal reading. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was of service to you. If you enjoyed this and you'd like a personal reading, my email's in the description box below. You can email me. I'll let you know how it works. You let me know what you need. But in any case, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.